So the next important application area where private constructors can be used. Okay, very important application area where private constructors are used, singleton classes. So maybe a chance to ask in the interview room, what is a singleton class? What is the advantage of singleton class? Is it possible to create our own singleton class or not? Like maybe a chance to ask in the interview room about the story about singleton classes, how to create our own singleton class. Can you explain with an example? Or what is singleton, what is the advantage, right? Sir, can you tell what is a singleton class? What is a singleton? The name itself indicates a observed. For any Java class, if we are allowed to create only one object, sir, for the Java class we can create only one object, such a type of class is said to be singleton class. Sir, can you tell any example for the singleton? Runtime. Runtime is a singleton class. Okay, runtime. Okay, here runtime. Runtime is a singleton class. Runtime. Do you know business delegate? Business delegate. Business delegate is a singleton. Business delegate is one type of design pattern, singleton only. Service locator is a singleton. Business delegate, service locator. Next and after that, okay, runtime, business delegate, service locator, like. Next, do you know here some people may consider action servlet. Some people in your starts framework, some people are going to consider singleton, some people may not consider, but anyway it is. So what is a singleton? For any Java class, if we are allowed to create only one object, such a type of class is said to be singleton class. Look at this here. Sir, can you give an example for that? Runtime, business delegate, service locator, like there are several singleton classes are there. Sir, what is the advantage of singleton? How to create singleton class object? Okay, first add, keep submitting singleton classes, singleton classes, singleton classes. For any Java class, if we are allowed to create, for any Java class, if we are allowed to create only one object, for any Java class, if we are allowed to create only one object, for any Java class, if we are allowed to create only one object, only one object, such a type of class is called, for any Java class, if we are allowed to create only one object, such a type of class is called singleton class. Such a type of class is called singleton class. Singleton class. Example, runtime, business delegate, service locator, runtime, business delegate, service locator, runtime, business delegate, service locator, etc. Service locator, like. Sir, then immediately you may ask, sir, what is the advantage? What is the advantage of singleton classes? Okay, keep submitting. Advantage of singleton class. Advantage of singleton class. Okay, make sure what is the biggest advantage of singleton class. Simple concept is very small. Here observe. Sometimes what will happen is, usually some people may approach office saying, sir, I want to attend a CJP class, like. No problem, you can, so batch is there in the next month, you can register for that batch, like we can tell. Then immediately that lady or gent is going to tell, no, I want one-to-one class. Are you getting? I want one-to-one class, like. Oh, then our faculties are there, okay, to handle one-to-one. Maybe junior faculties may handle one-to-one, so you can register for that, like. No, I want Durga sir classes only, but Durga sir is required to tell one-to-one. Are you getting? Durga sir is required to tell one-to-one. I want Durga sir class only, like. Then what I did is, then immediately our people are going to make a call to me. Sir, one lady or gent came, he want one-to-one classes, so only Durga sir should be the faculty, like. Sir, what I have to tell? Then, okay, no problem, I can take the session, but how much fee you are going to update? Fees for that one-to-one session is better to tell 3 lakhs is the fee. They are getting 3 lakhs. If she is going to ask how it is the 3 lakhs, just simple. In Durga sir class usually 100 members are there. Every person is going to pay how much? 3,000. Then 100 members is nothing but what? 3 lakhs. Sir, okay, instead of 100 members, he can spend the time only for you. Then whatever the money is nothing but you can pay. Okay, so like I told, if our people are going to tell Durga sir is ready to take one-to-one, but 3 lakhs is the fee, then automatically I'm sure that person won't come once again to the office. Okay, this because the reason is 3 lakhs is too much, even one-to-one too much, but no alternative. So what I did is, even suppose assume, okay, so that person won't ask once again Durga sir class one-to-one, okay, junior faculty or something like they may ask, but assume I have my personal opinion like I want to take SCJP training, but for every student 3 lakhs is the fee. I want to keep this rule or restriction. Then how many people are going to come for my classes? No. Are you getting? No one is going to come. 3 lakhs is the fees, nothing but highly impossible to pay. Then what we did is, this approach won't work. All the people who ever have same requirement, sir, all the people who ever have same requirement, boss, all these people requirement is SCJP only. I will ask, boss, all the 100 members, can you please sit in the classroom? Then I can deliver simultaneously for all 100 members. Are you getting? Simultaneously for all 100 members. 100 member, total 3 lakhs is my requirement. So 3 lakhs by 100 is nothing but how much? 3,000. Each student can pay 3,000. That thing is enough for me. If I can keep this type of arrangement, then students are going to come to my class or not? Yes, that's what we are doing. Are you getting? If several people having the same requirement, don't create separate object for every person. Create only one object and reuse the same object for every requirement. Memory utilization, performance by default will be improved. Are you getting that? Okay, this is what is the main central idea of singleton. Sir, first person came, sir, I want runtime object. Oh, create runtime object and give for that person. Second person came, sir, I want runtime object. Then runtime object just now I created for another purpose, another person's sake. Why don't you reuse the same object? Okay, like your purpose is also same. Why don't you reuse like for the same existing object only I will provide another reference. Third person came, sir, I want runtime object. No problem, existing object only I will provide. Like 1 lakh members came, no issue at all, reuse this object. Sir, creating one object and share, reuse for 1 lakh members, or creating 1 lakh separate object, which approach is recommended? Create one object and share for all these 1 lakh members. Memory improvement, performance improvement will be there. This is the concept of singleton classes. Are you able to understand what is the need of singleton class? To improve performance of the system, to improve memory utilization. Are you getting? If several people have same requirement, it is not recommended to create separate object for every requirement. Create only one object and reuse the same object for every similar requirement. Is the concept of singleton classes. So the main advantage of singleton classes is performance and memory utilization by default will be improved. Are you able to understand? Okay, at this point. Yeah, advantage of singleton classes. If several people have same requirement, if several people have same requirement, several people have same requirement, several people have same requirement, then it is not recommended, to create a separate object. Then it's not recommended to create a separate object. Not recommended to create a separate object. Not recommended to create a separate object. Not recommended to create a separate object for every requirement. For every requirement. For every requirement. Separate object for every requirement. We have to, next para, we have to create only one object. We have to create only one object. We have to create only one object. And we can reuse the same object. and we can reuse the same object. We can reuse the same object for every similar requirement. We can reuse the same object for every similar requirement, so that performance and the memory utilizations will be improved. Performance and memory utilizations will be improved. That's all. Are you getting? So this is the central advantage, or this is the central concept of what? Singleton class. This is the main advantage, right? Okay, add. This is the central idea. This is the central idea of singleton classes. Singleton classes. That's all. Completed, right? So make sure. Okay, sir, best example here. See, first person came, boss, I want runtime object. First person came, I want runtime object. Array, no problem. You can get how he can get runtime R1 is equal to, okay, singleton classes we can't create by using constructor or new operator, because the reason is, if this person is allowed to call constructor, he can create as many objects as he wants. That's why singleton class objects we can create by using factory methods. In the morning somewhere we covered what the factory method like. Runtime dot get runtime. Okay, sir, first person came and I want runtime object. Array, what is your requirement? I want to communicate with the JVM, because runtime object can be used to communicate with the JVM. Sir, I want runtime object to communicate with the JVM. Okay, no problem. Get that object. Like now R1 person got the first object. Now after some time R2 person came. Runtime R2 is equal to runtime dot get runtime. Second person came. Then immediately I will ask, okay, for the second person also, boss, I want runtime object. Array, what is your requirement? I have to communicate with the JVM. Array, for the same purpose, just now I created one runtime object. Why don't you reuse the same object? Like runtime dot get runtime method won't create new object. It is always going to return what? Existing object. That's why R2 person also getting the same. Okay, dot runtime R1 lakh is equal to runtime dot get runtime dot R1 lakh. Okay, like this. Sir, yeah, how many people are using my runtime object? 1 lakh people. But how many runtime objects are there? Only one object. I hope are you able to understand. So if several people have the same requirement, create only one object, reuse the same object for every person, so that memory improvement and performance by default will be improved. This is the advantage of singleton classes. Clear for all of you, right? Okay, at this point. Yeah. Okay, take this example anyway. Example, because we covered already theory. Example. Runtime R1 is equal to runtime dot get runtime. Runtime R2 is equal to runtime dot get runtime dot runtime 1 lakh. Runtime dot get runtime. Runtime dot get runtime. Okay, like completed, I hope. Okay, the terminology is very clear, I hope. Completed, right? Okay, next one. Okay. Next, sir, is it possible to create our own singleton classes? What answer you can tell? Possible or not? Yes. Can you explain with an example how to create our own singleton class? Sir, for my test class also, we are allowed to create only one object. Okay, like at this point. Keep submitting. How to create our own singleton classes. How to create our own singleton classes. How to create our own singleton classes. Singleton classes. How to create our own singleton classes. Okay. Sir, make sure we can create our own singleton class. For this, we have to use, is nothing but like for this we have to use so one approach. What is that approach here is very, very simple. Okay, there are two approaches are there, of course. Private constructor we have to use. Okay, approach 1, let me explain. Yeah, approach 1. Sir, I am taking class test, and there is one variable I am taking, private static test t is equal to new test. Sir, private static test t is equal to new test, and let me take constructor as a private, because if it is not private, outside person can call. He can create as many objects as he want. Outside of test class is nothing but this constructor he can't call. He can't create an object. Now, how to get a test object? Sir, I want test t1 is equal to, we have to use which one? Factory method. We can't create by using new test like, because constructor is what? Private. If it is a private, from outside of the class we can't create. Now, test t1 is equal to test dot get a test. Test t1 is equal to test dot get test. Now, let me write public static test, get a test, public static test, get a test. Sir, if any person is going to ask get a test method, don't create any object. Can you please return t always? That's all. Return t always. Okay, this is end of this one. Return t always. Now see, test t1 is equal to test dot get a test. Okay. Now, do you know a test object got already created at the beginning. Static variables got created at beginning under this t. Okay, static variable t. Sir, test t1 is equal to test dot get test. Return t. So for this person, which object is going to get? T1 like this. Return t. Sir, after some time, this person asked, another person asked, test t2 is equal to test dot get a test. Get test. Sir, get test method always return what? T, existing object only. That's why t2 person also getting the same. Okay, dot test t 1 lakh is equal to test dot get a test. Sir, t get test method you can ask 1 lakh times also. It is always going to return t 1 lakh. Always going to return same object. Are you getting? So now, can you tell how many test objects got created? Only one test object got created. Is nothing but at any point of time for my test class, only one object we can create. That's why test class is what? Singleton class. This is one approach. Do you know runtime class singleton class or not? Runtime class singleton class or not? Internally, how runtime class singleton class is implemented? By using this approach only. Let me show this one. Here, see. Here I am taking. Do you know runtime? Yes, this class is there with me. It is a predefined class. Runtime.java. Okay, like runtime.java. So Java runtime. Here we observe public class runtime. Public class runtime. Private static runtime, current runtime is equal to new runtime. Are getting just like private static test t is equal to new test like. Sir, public static runtime, get runtime, return current runtime. Current runtime is nothing but what? This one only. Are you getting? So this is the way, by using this approach, is nothing but singleton classes are implemented. Are you getting? This is approach 1. By using which runtime class is implemented based on this approach only. Add. Approach 1. 1 minute on. What heading you took? Can you spell out? How to create our one singleton classes at the point. We can create our own singleton classes. We can create our own singleton classes. Our own singleton classes. Our own singleton classes. For this we have to use. For this we have to use private constructor. For this we have to use private constructor. For this we have to use private constructor and private static variable and a private static variable and a private static variable and a public factory method Okay, this next approach 1. Okay, take this example, of course, this one. Approach 1, how to create our one singleton classes. This is the first approach. Approach 1, at the beginning only that one object I will create, and wherever that object is required, happily we can return the same object. This is the approach 1, how to create our one singleton classes. Completed, right? Approach 1. Completed, I hope. How to create our own singleton classes. Terminology is very clear for you people. Second approach is also there, but anyway, it is also a bit complex, but that approach is the recommended. Completed, right? Okay, take a note. Runtime class is internally implemented. Runtime class is internally implemented. Runtime class is internally implemented by using this approach. Runtime class is internally implemented by using this approach. Runtime class internally implemented by using this approach. That's all. Completed, right? Now my point is, sir, here compulsory at the beginning one object got created. Sir, I am not using that object, will become waste or not. Okay, that's why don't create object at the beginning. Whenever the first time request came, then create object, and for every consecutive request reuse the same object. Again, don't create any object. First time, whenever the first time a person requested, then create new object, and in all remaining cases return existing object only. How we can do that? Okay, simple. Approach 2. Now observe, sir, approach 2. Same thing, but with a small difference. Here see, private static test T is equal to null. Private static test T is equal to null. Sir, private constructor, private tester, private constructor, everything is the same. Now this person requested, okay, public, what is the method? Public static tester get a tester, same get tester. Sir, at the beginning, is any object got created? No. That's why what I will do, if t is equal to null, object not yet created. If t is equal to null, object not yet created. If it is not yet created, create a new object. T is equal to new tester. T is equal to new tester. If t is equal to null, then t is equal to new tester. If t is not null, then it won't execute. Then what I will do, return t. That's all. Are you getting? So first time t is the null. First t is the null. That's why create a new object, return that t. Second time, sir, whenever I am asking second time, tester get tester. Either t is the null or not null. Not null. Without this, return t directly. That's all. Are you getting? Instead of creating object first time, at the beginning, whenever a request came first time, now I am creating an object. Second time onwards, existing object only I am returning. Are you getting? So this is same terminology, right? Okay. End of this one, end of this. I hope you can able to understand. This is the second approach, right? At approach 2. Take this part. Two approaches are there for singleton classes. Both are valid, no problem at all. It is small minor difference. In one approach, the required one object at the beginning we are creating, but in the second approach, that required one object we are creating yet. Okay. Completed, I hope. Take clearly. Clear, I hope. Okay. Completed, I hope. This is. Now, add one point. At any point of time, for test class, we can create only one object. At any point of time for test class, we can create only one object. Hence, we can create only one object. Hence, tester class is singleton class. Singleton class. That's all. So, how to create our own singleton classes? What is singleton? What is the advantage? Is it clear for all of you? Right? Okay, this is. Make sure you people should aware clearly, right? Now I hope how to create our own singleton classes clear for all of you, right? Now there may be a chance to ask. So this is one area where private constructors are helpful. Sir, private constructors main use to create our own singleton classes. Are you able to understand, right? Okay, this is. So what is the main purpose of private constructor? To create our own, to create singleton classes, right? Internally singleton classes concept is implemented by using what? A private constructor. Now next one, listen. Sir, there is another, there may be a chance to ask some small twist. If the class is final, is it possible to create child class? Ayo, class is final. For final classes, inheritance not possible. Is it possible to create child class? No. Now my question is, class is not final. Now class is not final, but we are not allowed to create child class. Are you getting? Class is not final, but we are not allowed to create child class. How it is possible? Okay, add. Class is not final. Class is not final. Class is not final. But we are not allowed to create child classes. Class is not final, but we are not allowed. Class is not final, but we are not allowed to create child classes. But we are not allowed. We are not allowed to create child classes. How it is possible? Class is not final, but we are not allowed to create child classes. How it is possible? How it is possible? Possible. Okay, like simple. Okay, here see. How it is possible? Maybe a chance. Declare every constructor as a private. If I declare every constructor as a private, then you can't create child class further. Best example, here see. Sir, I am taking class P. Class P. Sir, let me take private constructor. Okay, that's all. Sir, I am sure for this class, you can't create child class. Suppose if I am trying to create child, what will happen? Why we are not allowed to create the child? Now, simple, observe this one. Sir, I am taking class C extends P. Class C extends P. Here, compulsory constructor will be there. If you are not writing, compiler will generate. Compulsory in child class, somewhere super keyword must be there. If you are not writing, compiler will place. Super means what? Super class, no argument constructor. But in the super class no is there. But is it possible to call from outside? No, because this constructor is nothing but what? Private. Are you getting? Private constructor from outside of the class not possible. But from the child class you are calling. That's why, sir, it is not possible. You can create child class. Simple. Without declaring class as the final, how we can restrict a child class creation? Simple. Declare every constructor as a private. Just observe. See this example right here. See, I have one class is that P. And I here see observe P dot Java. Here constructor is not there. Class C extends P like class P. Class C extends P. Happily the code compiles fine. No problem at all. Sir, I am taking P. Like this I am taking. Sir, the constructor is not private. Valid or not? Array, valid or not? Valid. No problem at all. Now I am taking P as private. Valid or invalid? P as the private. So, sir, you can't create child class because from the child class super keyword is there. That's why. Have you observed? Compile time error by default we are going to get. Yes, if you observe, P has private access in P. Sir, constructor has the private access, you can't. Suppose if I remove this one, that's all, class P. Valid or not? Because I am not creating any child class. Happily is nothing but valid, no problem at all. Okay, this is. So, this is what you people should ever add. By declaring every constructor as private, by declaring every constructor as a private, we can restrict child class creation. We can restrict child class creation. We can restrict child class creation. We can restrict a child class creation. Okay, take this example. Class P, next a private P. Example, class P, private P. Private P. Class P, private P. Okay, here the point. For the above class, it is impossible to create child class. For the above class, it is impossible to create child class. For the above class, it is impossible to create child class. Impossible to create child class. That's all. Are you able to understand, right? Okay, there, that's it. Okay, so there ends oops concept. So the last postmortem in the constructors is nothing but these are things, right? Okay, that's all. There ends the cinema of hoops, the most valuable concept especially for interview room, right? Okay, take special care, that's all.